Aaron Murphy, honored to have Robert Lachowicz on Clan Chat, gold medal in Nottingham. I want to talk about that first, Lacho, because it was a magnificent week, and it was one of the big reasons why, when we started talking about our clan recruitment, why you were high on the list. Talk a little bit about that week as a team and your performance individually as well.
Um, well, it's tough to put into words. Those gold medals are huge, and I think it's a credit to the whole team. We've built that team over quite a few years now, so it's nice to kind of get those opportunities to play in those big games. And I mean, to top it off with the gold medal, it was massive.
The crowds are incredible, and it has to be said the GB Barmy Army are a big part of your success. And we know the Purple Army, a loud building, Braehead Arena. How excited are you to put on purple and wear that number 7 in front of the Purple Army faithful?
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think Braehead and Glasgow has always been a place where it's a little bit intimidating to come into. It feels like the whole crowd's on top of you, and so it's going to be a nice feeling to be on the other side of that. But I mean, it's always loud, and even through maybe the struggles last year, it was still a tough place to come and play.
When I called you up, it seems like a long time ago to kind of talk about where the clan and the new ownership vision was. You seemed excited. A lot of the guys we've talked to are excited about being part of a new era, as it were. Just talk a little bit about that as to how it piqued your interest.
Um, it seems like something new, and there was a buzz and an excitement, and everyone I spoke to in the club. Seems like everyone was on the same page and kind of pushing towards the same goals for the coming season. And to feel that excitement, it's kind of, it draws you in a bit. And so it was intriguing, and it's something I'm definitely excited now to be a part of.
And we're excited to have you as part of the new era. We threw some questions out on social media because that's the world we live in. We want to let the fans pick your brain a bit. And Jessica on Twitter was asking how you pronounce your last name, but I've been pronouncing it right all these years, though.
Or have you?
Or have I? That's a good point.
No, yeah, it's well, we pronounce it Lachowicz, so it's. I mean, it probably looks a lot more complicated than it is, but I've
I
had many
remember
names
asking.
over the years, so
I
whatever you
remember
think.
asking you like 10 or 15 years ago when we first met. So I've been on the mark, I think, for all those years. Scott Gilmore asked what made you sign with the clan?
I say, speaking to yourself and guys around the club, and even players from the past that have played under the old regime, like no one's said anything bad about being up there. So obviously, it's a great city, a great town. The fan base is cool, and now with the new look coming in, I think it's just a great opportunity.
Glasgow Clan updates on Facebook saying, as a new forward for the clan, what personal goals have you set for yourself this season?
Um, Personally, I just want to. I feel like I've had a couple of good seasons down in Guildford, and I'm looking to kind of build on that. Obviously, been a very kind of defensive-minded player for many years, and personally, I'd like to chip in more offensively and kind of. I know growing up, I was a very offensive player, and so to kind of get a bit of that back would be good for me. But obviously, ultimately, silverware for the team is where it's at.
Coach Jason Morgan and I had a lot of conversations about sort of the way he wants to play, and we talked to him on clan chats about that as well. But have you talked to the coach about leadership and defensive responsibilities and where you fit in and what he's looking forward to working with you on?
So far, we've not had much hockey speak. I know he's in the process of coming over to the UK, and all the visa issues and everything that goes on with that. So we've not really got into much of the hockey speak, but obviously he wants me to be kind of there as, I don't know if it's a leadership role or what, but kind of to bring the experience that I have to the players, especially the new players to the league, and kind of get them set in the right tracks.
When you look at it too, I mean, a player like Coach Morgan in his playing days at the highest levels in the NHL, and he's won some titles in Europe. He said it's an exciting time as well. It's a reset for him as well. And you said it there. There's a bit of a buzz about it, so that is exciting. Whether you're a coach, player, broadcaster, or behind the scenes, so it's an important point to make that that excitement can really extend over to everyone involved with the club, including the fans.
Yeah, and it's kind of a promising sign that everyone involved wants to be there, and I say is ultimately pushing for the same goal. And from everyone that I've spoken to so far, everyone is on the same page, and I think that's a huge thing. Obviously, being part of teams in the past that maybe things are a bit disjointed and doesn't always pan out well when that's the case. So to see everything kind of on the same page, it's a good thing to see.
You've had success internationally. We talked about a gold medal recently. You've had success domestically. Is there one thing that sticks out as a career highlight, or is that career highlight still to be determined?
Hopefully, still to be determined. But I mean, I'm lucky enough to have many situations and experiences to pick from. Say the first 2 years when we were promoted to the World Championships, and then staying up the next year with the overtime win. It's obviously going to be very tough to beat those experiences, but I mean, you never know what the future brings. And say hopefully league wise, I'd take a league championship for sure.
I have a fond memory of Kosice. You and I talking in the hotel lobby. I think you'd played Finland, and the captain was Marco Antilla, who's
Yeah.
6'9" in his bare feet. And we just talked about the game. Obviously, Finland being quite a powerhouse, and we were talking about what a moment it was for you guys to be playing the likes of these players. And you said, I don't think I've ever envisioned playing against a guy who's 7 feet tall on skates. But those moments, and we've shared some of those moments together, Laco, because there were times where I never thought I'd be calling you guys playing against Anthony Mantha in Canada, and moments like that, the real pinch me moments. But it is special when we talk offline about those moments and how far GB and the Elite League have come.
Yeah. It's I mean, since my first tournament for the national team, it's come such a long way from the way the team's managed and the off ice stuff, and everything's kind of come together, and it's put us in a really good spot. And as you say, like getting up to those levels where we never thought we would be 10 years ago. So it's very special, and it's something I think we've all cherished and kind of made the most of our opportunity up there, because once you do come back down to 1A, obviously we've gone back up now, but you never know if that opportunity is going to come back around. So you make the most of it while you're up there, and I think we do it as well as anyone. We enjoy our time up there.
Yeah, it's a close-knit group, and that's part of what Jason Morgan's trying to build in the locker room for the Glasgow Clan. It's so important that you have that family feel, that togetherness. If you're up against an opponent like Canada internationally, or if you're up against a big club like Belfast last year winning all the trophies, you need to have that togetherness in the room. And it's certainly, I know Jason Morgan has talked about your sort of leadership and what you bring to the table. So it's important that you have that gold medals and elite league titles and past playoff titles in that room to tell the new guys about.
Yeah, and it's obviously such an important part of a team to gel. And if you're out there, I need to have full trust in you, and same if I'm out there, you need to trust me fully. And I know with the national team, any of us would do anything for each and every player.
And when you're looking at that, and that's my house is a building site right now. I think someone's cutting a steel beam, so don't worry. I asked them to stop, but such is life. But when you look at the way that program has gone from strength to strength, that's something that you want to bring to your domestic season as well, right? Because let's be honest, there's depth now in those positions. You want Pete Russell, who's now in Cardiff, to look at you and go, "Wow, Laco's going real good in Glasgow as well."
Yeah, obviously the league campaign is a huge kind of viewing area for the coaches to see how guys perform over the year. And I say you got to put yourself in positions where you can succeed, and ultimately succeeding personally is going to help the team and benefit the team in the season. So I say that's kind of at the back end of the season, and you don't really think too much about it. And the aim is to do well with Glasgow. And if you're on a winning team, coaches, that's just as important as having a good a good personal season. If you can be a part of a winning team and a structure that produces trophies, that's a massive benefit.
Some of the players we've announced, I mean, we've got 2 import goalies. You remember Charlie Combs from his time in Dundee. Is there anyone that you're particularly excited about suiting up with?
Not particularly any one person, but obviously there's a few names that have been proven and can play well in the league. So it's going to be exciting to kind of play with those guys and see how it is to be a part of the same team as opposed to, trying to shut them down and stop them producing. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. I say the start of the season is always kind of funny when you playing all of a sudden with guys that you've always played against. So I'm looking forward to it, and seeing good things from a lot of guys that we've signed already. So yeah, it's going to be a fun start.
And more big signings to come. Lots of work going on behind the scenes. Lots of recruitment, but it's a nice thing, and it made me happy that you were our first announcement because I followed your career. I've known you from the Nottingham days all the way through, and the GB days. So it was a nice call to make, and I was certainly delighted when you signed on the dotted line. So welcome to the Glasgow clan, and I'm sure the Purple Army are going to love watching you play all season, Lacho.
Yeah, I hope so. But yeah, so everything sounds like it's heading in the right direction now, and yeah, I'm super excited to be up with such a massive team.
We'll see you in September, buddy.
Yeah,
Enjoy the golf.
Oh, I will. Don't worry.